This is not how I imagined my first day.
Welcome to the video, guys, and you may have been wondering, is this real, the title? And yes it is, and it comes from an interview recently with Capcom. We'll go over it because it's a very short interview, but it does process some key details. Let's get into them now. At first, when asked about if Resident Evil will have any future remakes in the project and what projects will be coming next, Capcom answered in a very vague sense. We want to get this one out of the door and see how it goes first. We've got a lot of fans who ask for their favourite games, but we're not going to commit to anything right now. We'd like to keep our possibilities open for the future, and we'd like to see what makes the most sense when we come to it. We don't want to feed just nostalgia, we want to bring out how people felt about the original games, and if we can, reimagine it in a way so that it bridges the generation gap between people who played it 20 years ago and newcomers. And that is a very vague response and just doesn't really give any key information, but of course Capcom is going to keep any advertisements or mentions of future projects completely in the dark at the moment. Nothing's going to be confirmed, just like no information on Remake 2 came about while Resident Evil 7 was in production, because they want all of the attention to be on one specific project at a time. It continues on with, certainly enough time has passed that it wouldn't be laughable to remake the remake. I personally think that would be interesting to do. In regard to Resident Evil's spiritual predecessor, Sweet Home, we don't have the rights to that game anymore because it was actually based on a movie, and that's the reason Capcom started making Resident Evil in the first place, and why you don't see any re-releases. It's off the table at this point. Now Capcom might be interested in remaking remakes, and I actually thought about this. It does kind of make sense if you think about it eventually from a business perspective. After 20 years has passed, which if you make a bunch of spin-off titles and all of the main 7 titles all the way through and remake them, each time there's going to be a new demographic of younger individuals that have never played the originals and would like to see them re-released, just kind of like Resident Evil 2 is right now. Now it goes on to say, during my investigation, I also learned that Capcom isn't planning any story DLC for the RE2 remake, or adding any new enemies, but Tofu will be back. Now the fact there's going to be no story DLC or new enemies is a huge thing, because that's what a lot of people were hoping for, but it does look like we've got a very good baseline. Now if they do say there's no new enemies, I'm wondering if that is particularly true, or just in a generalized sense. Will there be something like the Lisa Trevor subplot, or are we just gonna have nothing new at all? Because that would be a little bit disappointing in my opinion. But anyway guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video and learned something. If you did, and you do really hate Jeff, please do leave a like, a share, and a subscribe. And as always, I just hope you're having a beautiful day. Take it easy, and peace.